Good morning.
Right early.
It's good football morning. Nice weather.
Hey, welcome in. It's the AJ Sports Show. It's the Sunday morning roast. Don't let your eyes fool you. This is not Maroon 5. If anything, we're the Maroon 3. And if anything, we're just the Maroon 2. Sunday morning, something's calling. Something's brewing.
Is it rain or something? Or
I don't mind spending every minute in this stream waiting for you to like and subscribe, to share this
Please.
video. Oh, I mean, I could sing for you guys. Hopefully Maroon 5 doesn't copyright this because that would be really awkward. Really awkward. I'm going to delete them from my playlist. You guys got a peek into my playlist yesterday. I go from Enrique Iglesias to Kendrick Lamar to Doja to Hamilton. It's a thing. Don't mind my playlist.
Love the variety. I love variety. Keeps it all interesting. Keeps you on your toes.
Yep, absolutely. So we'll do a little housekeeping here. This is the AJ Sports Show, right? We heard that already. Sunday morning roast. We're going to talk about some DFS today. We're going to talk about some football games that we talked about last week, predictions we made, and predictions we will make. We're going to give you guys our Survivor Challenge picks. We figured out some of the rules, so we'll explain that in a few in case you guys really care. Go over some injuries in the league. But first, the most important thing, let's say good morning to Elizabeth.
What up, Lord Lizzie? Morning.
The only thing that brings else to this program is Lord Lizzie.
That's the t-shirt. That's got to be one of the first t-shirts that we go with. Yeah.
Well, once we get to our 100th show or something, we're just gonna do something. I promise. I mean, we're almost there technically, unless we count live streams specifically. We're not there yet, but we'll see. Whatever you guys want to do.
We'll crunch the numbers and get the exact number, exact like number of shows, and then we'll be right on it. We'll get it done.
Absolutely. Let me just get this started. I guess this is I don't know. I was just trying to make a coffee pun here, so the weekly grind or something like that. I figured we could talk about a couple injuries. I don't got the most updated list probably. I just got a list, and I'll just read it off, and you guys tell me you have any thoughts about this. Okay, the big one, right? Rob Gronkowski is not going back to New England. He's sitting out today, which is whatever, right? I'm sure he'll still be on the sideline. No Gronk.
He didn't. I don't think he traveled with the team.
He didn't travel. Nah.
So is he in Tampa? Is he just chilling?
Yeah, exactly. The facility, I guess. Nah, he's where.
So
probably partying.
Patriot today most likely to score a touchdown and do a Gronk smash. Who's that?
Damian Williams.
Do you think anybody? Yeah. Do you think anybody mocks him on that team, or do they not really care?
When you're down 5 touchdowns, you don't want to be mocking anyone. So.
Wow, you're going out with that kind of projection, huh?
Well, I mean, I don't know about 5, but they're gonna get rolled. I mean, come on, dude. Look at Tom. He's about to go nuclear.
Okay, so Atlanta's out without Russell Gage today, missing the second game. Lamar Jackson should be playing. He returned to practice on Friday. That is important because we have him in one of our primetime picks today. The Bills will be without Jordan Poyer because of an ankle injury, and John Feliciano, one of their starting right guard. He has a concussion from last week. The big one, and maybe this affects DFSJ, but Andy Dalton is not going to play today. So Justin Fields in cash lineups. Maybe for a second week in a row.
I'm all about it. I wanted to do it last week, but was too sick to pull the trigger. Adam Levitan from hashtag ETR, we love ETR, talked about it. He was like, I wish I was a smart fake sharp, like sharp-minded, and didn't play him last week just to play him this week in this pristine matchup against the Lions. So I'm definitely not a sharp, but definitely have a lot more Justin Fields than I feel comfortable with as of 7:55 this morning.
So is he going to be a contrarian pick today? Or is he going to be chalky?
ETR has them projected. I think it was like 7% owned, which is pretty good. That's pretty contrarian. I think everyone was just so gosh darn scared because you saw the floor from him last week, and his floor is 3.23 DraftKings points. I don't think that the Chicago Bears coaching staff is dumb enough to see the type of media attention that played out and how awfully people think that game was coached. And I mean, there are a lot of big people with a lot of big platforms calling for Matt Nagy's job right now. And he's not even calling plays. It's going to be Laser, their OC now. I think today is they made that switch. So we'll see how that goes. I can't imagine that they let Justin Fields look much worse than he did last week. So I'm going to take on that. 5,200.
You let Jordan Montgomery rush 20 times today, at least. You're playing the Detroit Lions, right? I mean, you have to.
And he's interesting, especially they're home favorites, right? And he's super interesting there. I think it's in cash. It's a good option. I mean, him and Chuba Hubbard are both right in that range, 5,900, 5,800. It seems like any running back that has any sort of quality that goes to Carolina under this Joe Brady offense is going to be like 90% CMC, which is what we saw last year from Mike Davis. I mean, literally, Mike Davis came in and he started averaging like almost 20 points a game. The games he scored a touchdown, he was getting like 23 points. So, I think Chuba Hubbard is a guy that's going to help keep David Montgomery's number down. And Montgomery's he's going to be pretty well owned. I think he was projected for about 23. So,
okay. Got a couple more here. Then we could brew this coffee that I just ground up. Greg Newsome, rookie out of Cleveland, should be out today against Minnesota. Cleveland's secondary hasn't played phenomenally well so far this season. But that is a pretty new squad together. So Randy Gregory expects to play today against Carolina. So that's big for Dallas. Their defensive end. I don't know what that does.
Big for Dallas.
I mean, what does that do to Micah? I don't know. What do you still like?
He's so good, dude. Yeah, move him back inside. I'd keep him outside personally. I think he's been playing really well out there. And I mean, like we talked about when the draft came and then they drafted Micah Parsons. It was kind of an interesting choice considering the fact that they have, Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch. And then, they also doubled down on it and spent a third-round draft pick on Jabril Cox, which honestly, if I'm Jalen Smith's agent, I'm like, hey, Dallas, something we don't hear? What's going on here, huh? We didn't know anything about this. You just gave my boy a big contract and drafted 2 linebackers with your first 4 picks in the draft. So, no, I don't think it makes a huge deal, but I think having him back is actually something for the Dallas Cowboys who just lack talent up front with Lawrence out. So,
well, going into the season, I thought the Dallas Cowboys defense was going to be atrocious. It wasn't great last year, and so far they've been making plays, getting some turnovers. So I mean that's good. I don't know if I'm still 100% comfortable saying like they can contend once playoff time starts if their defense doesn't like shore up things a little bit. Good morning, Ryan.
What up, Ryan? Ryan's got a huge game today. Ryan, we'll give you some time because we got the whole show here. We got 8:45. But give us a prediction on that one, right, Ryan? I mean, big time game, right? I mean, we got to hear what we got to come up with a name for Ryan. The righteous Ryan says about this.
It's a good name.
Prediction.
Anyway, Andrew, you like Quentin Nelson a lot out of Indianapolis. He's going to miss his first game ever. He was put on the injured reserve yesterday or something like that. Kind of sucks for him over there, but.
Yeah, short-term IR, so thankfully he's not going to be missing, the 8-week minimum that regular IR, facilitates. So 3 weeks. Hopefully he's back soon. I mean, Colts are 0-3. They're kind of backs against the wall. They got a game against Miami here to try and right the ship, who's being led by Jacoby Brissett. So
it's not our primetime pick, but are the Colts pulling this one out today, Andrew?
Yeah, I think so. Miami hasn't looked great. They played a good game against the Raiders, but I think that's more of an indictment on the Raiders themselves, and like it kind of shows like that they're really not the 3-0 team that everyone says they are, because I mean they're the Raiders. They throw the ball a lot, but are very one-dimensional. So
because they got thoroughly embarrassed by this team the week before, right? I mean they had to.
Yeah. They had to show up and show out a little bit, in Vegas for a minute. I'm sure the players were hyped to be in the new stadium, but I don't expect the same outcome. I think defensively the Colts are a lot better than the Raiders are. And again, this is a game that Indy has to have. If they go 0-4, there's really 0-3 is already a hole that's like next to impossible to dig yourself out of in the NFL. 0-4, you can kind of just write the season off as a
Dude.
Yeah. So for a DF, oh, sorry. Casey.
Go ahead. Yeah, you're good.
No. From just from a DFS perspective, because that's really where my mindset is on these Sunday mornings. God, I'm gonna get burned by Jonathan Taylor again, but I really like him in this spot. The Miami Dolphins have allowed the second most fantasy points in the league so far this year to opposing running backs. I cannot imagine that Frank Wright sitting at 0-3 season base. I mean, your chances of making the playoffs when you go 0-3 are like 23%.
Establish the run.
Yeah, literally like 23%. If you start 0-3, they're already there, 0-4, and it's probably something abysmal. I can very much see Jonathan Taylor get a solid 20-something touches today.
Oh, he has to.
I mean, dude, he's getting like, I get it, like, right? He hasn't hit yet, and that's why I'm really excited to play him again this week. And he's coming in with a questionable tag, which just means anyone on DraftKings that sees that little red Q is, even if you were skeptical about him already, that's going to point you in another direction. Even though like Al Smizzle has been talking about hashtag Al Smizzle, I'm just naming off all these content creators that I watch, has talked about. Is like there's no probable tag anymore. So guys who are probable are going to come in with a questionable tag because there is no probable tag. Like you could practice fully on Friday, but if you were on the injury report Thursday, you know, if they want you to be probable, you're going to be questionable. So anyway, I think Jonathan Taylor has a big game today, which is going to probably hit me right in the pocketbook, but we'll see how it goes on Monday.
Righteous Ryan's picking the points with the Rams.
I was just about to check the line on that. What was it? I think it was 3, right?
I think it's 3.
I think the Rams are getting 3. 4. The Rams are getting
4. It's 4. Yeah,
really, yeah. Ryan?
Field goal game, right? Could be a field goal game, right?
That's I think.
Okay, so Frank Clark should play today against the Eagles. I mean, they might not need him, but the Chiefs.
We need everyone.
The Chiefs
all hands on deck.
Chiefs haven't looked great on defense so far this season. So yeah, I mean that would be good, right? Josh Jacobs, the Raiders running back, has missed the last couple of games. He did practice limited this week. Yeah, I mean they're playing the Chargers on Monday, so we'll probably know more about that then. Oh man, I clicked on a really long list. Darrell Henderson.
Real quick before you move to the next team, just for the Chargers.
Oh yeah, go for
it. Kenneth Murray left the field yesterday. It was like it hasn't made like news just yet because the MRI hasn't come in or anything. But he was carted off the field yesterday. They're starting inside linebacker, so hopefully, I mean, a divisional opponent for us Chiefs fan, but again, we don't like injuries here at AJA Sports. So hopefully, nothing serious for Kenneth Murray. Really talented linebacker out of Oklahoma. So hopefully, he didn't sustain anything major. Waiting to see MRI results. We'll probably get them later today once all the morning games finish. So we'll stick around for that. Keep it on.
Thank you for that Chargers update. Darrell Henderson is going to play today. And I'll just go over a couple more big names here. Dalvin Cook is expected to play today. He practices every week. Looking optimistic, and he's confident he's going to play. Packers. Marquez is out today. Scantling, Nick Folk from the Patriots, who's limited this week. So I don't know if anybody's gonna be kicking field goals out there. Maybe I don't know who. Is there a punter trained on? Is there backup?
Yeah, I mean, you're just gonna see a lot of fourth down. You're gonna go for a lot of fourth downs and.
Yeah, they're gonna be down, so they'll go for 4th down anyway.
I mean, Bill probably has someone there that can kick, right? And he's smart enough. I mean, there used to be like safeties and stuff in college. I used to go out there boot 30-yarders. I mean,
did he give Wes Welker a call?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
exactly.
Didn't he kick one, right? It was Wes that kicked one, wasn't it?
Yeah, in preseason against the Dolphins.
Wasn't it? Didn't Ndamukong Suh kick one?
And Ndamukong Suh's kicked one. Chad Ochocinco's kicked one.
Yeah.
There's been a bunch of guys kicking one. Yeah,
I remember that.
There has to be a prop pick today. I'm sure someone in this nation is taking that. Okay, a couple of quick more wide receivers. Sterling Shepard going to miss the game. Jamison Crowder is poised to make his debut for the Jets today. The Jets offense is not great. Chase Claypool for the Steelers has been ruled out against the Packers. Steelers looking like they need everything they can get to because they've been our Ben Roethlisberger take Jay this whole offseason has been spot on. If we do say so ourselves,
he's a damn statue back there. He's got about as much He's got as much mobility as this water hose that's sitting in the backyard.
You went statue, right? And I was thinking like he looks like a gas can. He's out of gas and he just looks like a can. Like,
I mean, dude, it's always whenever a team is late to like move on from a quarterback, it doesn't. I mean, I feel like you almost have to, right? You have to give them like the 1 year. But I thought that was last year. Like, good Lord, he looked so bad. He tripped over dirt last week. They tried to roll him out to the short side of the field, and he fell over basically his shoelace. The aglet of his shoelace is what he fell over. This man is so unathletic right now in his older age.
Okay, so that'll wrap up the grind, the injury grind. Antonio Gibson also questionable. Rivera wants to see him take the field before he says he's a game time decision, I guess. So I mean, if you're playing to the last second for your lineup, maybe JD McKissic.
Yeah, Jay is.
Oh yeah,
every Sunday.
We got a lot of. You have to. And DFS, dude, half the leverage is being there and understanding injuries and how to pivot off of them. I say that because I suck at it, and I try to make better pivots, but holy snot, sometimes it just doesn't go that way. But the best, you don't give yourself a chance if you're not in front of the computer, and that's one thing about the NBA. Why NBA DFS is so damn hard. You have to be there like right before lock because people get ruled out the second, like literally a minute before the game, 5 minutes before the game. You find out the starting lineup, and all of a sudden your entire roster change. NFL, obviously, this happens wholesale as the 10 o'clock window and the 1 o'clock window come, but imperative, real quick. Anyone who's playing DFS, flex players that play in the afternoon game should be any skill player that plays in your afternoon game that you can put in the flex. Obviously, I mean, I feel like that's pretty much common knowledge, but it gives you more flexibility when you're late swapping to go to a running back or a tight end or a wide receiver as opposed to only being able to go to whatever block you have yourself set into. So try to put a 1 p.m. player in your flex play as much as possible.
So, if you guys saw the thumbnail, we have Billy and Tommy on there. They're facing off for the first time in New England here, so that should be good. What are you guys' thoughts about Tommy and Billy reunited?
Andrew, you want to go first?
Sure. I kind of want to mention real fast, like the narrative that I have a problem with is like everyone's ready to pick a side, like who's better, Bill or Brady. It is Bill or Brady. Like, yes, Bill is not as good of a coach without Tom Brady, but any coach in the NFL would be not as great of a coach without Tom Brady. I just don't think it's fair and I'm honestly going to offend Bill Belichick here because a lot of people are giving him crap like, oh, Brady already won the Super Bowl with another team. Bill Belichick's not really as great he is that great of a coach. He literally had Tom Brady for 20 years. And when you have great players, when you have good talent, you're supposed to win. And he did exactly that. That doesn't take away from the fact that when this man leaves and wins without him, that he's any greater of a coach during the 2 decades that he dominated the entire conference. So that's all I want to say. I want to defend Bill Belichick. There's no reason for anybody to slander him. And now because 1 year away from having Tom on his roster and I know Ace, you being a Bills fan, like you obviously you might not agree with me here, and I rightfully I understand I'd be feeling a type of like he slapped the Chiefs' ass numerous times, like over like so I'm just speaking like as like impartial as I can here.
United.
So, I just think people are a little too critical over Bill and about like I think Tom's gonna come back and win this game. I don't think Bill has the roster or the quarterback to compete in it, but let's hop off of like, really it was all Bill or it was all Tom. It was both of them. And guess what? They dominated for 20 years. How much longer you want to dominate for? 20 freaking years. That's all I'm going to say. Bucks by 14.
Yeah. I mean, I'm right there with you. I think, I don't know, like people kind of underestimate how bad teams can be. But also how good they can be at the same time. Like the Denver Broncos are kind of a perfect example. Like the Broncos have a great personnel, and last year they had an awful quarterback, and that made them look like a very bad football team. But any little type of research would tell you that they are absolutely not. I mean, you look at the Denver Broncos, and obviously they haven't beat anyone worth a note so far this season. 3 teams they beat are 0-9, but they're 3-0. Their defense looks stout. They have good skill players, even with some injuries. They still look like they're loaded. And that's kind of what Tom walked into in Tampa Bay. And Tom deserves a ton of credit, dude. I mean, this guy's just rattling off championships. But just kind of to piggyback back a little bit off Andrew's point, Bill Belichick has to figure out the most important position in football And I know that, maybe they went about it the wrong way. Like, I would have let Tom walk off on my own accord. Maybe that's just hashtag fake sharp, like the ETR guys would say for Bill Belichick. Everyone thinks he's so smart, and then you let Tom walk. I know that, Robert Kraft didn't want him to go. So just a little interesting how that all played out. Now, the narrative I will push back on instead of that is, and this isn't a big one that most people are on, but there are some yahoos out there that keep talking about how overwhelmed Tom's going to be and how emotional they're going to make it. And it's Tom Brady, dude. He's played in 9 Super Bowls now. He's won 7.
10.
Yeah, 10 Super Bowls, won 7 of them. I don't think that he's worried about going back to Foxborough. I think he'll be just fine. I think the nerves on that guy are A-okay, if I had to say so myself.
I am muted. I know.
It's early, man. It's early in the morning, man. It's okay.
I've been muting myself a little bit more because you guys don't have to hear me. Oh yeah, Jay's talking about Bill Belichick, just moaning into the mic about how I hate all this, all this talk about New England. No, it's okay. I don't care. I'm good. I'll be good in 10 years once Josh Allen just mollywops this team just consecutively. It's gonna happen. Okay, we are gonna move on. So we're flipping a coin here. What do you want to do? DFS? Or do you want to do picks of the week?
Let's do picks. Go to our picks so we can see see Johnny in last place.
That's not funny, but yeah. I mean, sorry. It's still early, man. Like, come on. And you're not even in first place yourself, so like calm down.
I know. I'm just
Okay, we're doing it up here. We're doing good as long as all Thursday night games are just pick me games, and it's like Cincinnati and so Cincinnati. We'll show that on the next slide here, but we're at a couple games difference here. Nothing that like I tend to be contrarian to these guys. I'm trying to just use DFS talk here. I usually go with my gut a little bit more than the line. So today you'll see that a little bit. I didn't go all the way. I really wanted to pick one team that I'll talk about when we get there, but I didn't. Maybe I could change it. Jay, you told me I could change it last week when I was in the shower having to run over to work and couldn't join the program.
You can definitely still change it. You got until
you want me to change
now.
It, don't you?
You got until now.
Yeah, you want
me
to
I
change
don't know.
It
I don't even know what you're talking about right now, to be honest with you. But
all right. Hit the next slide, A. All right, so this was third and I went to work. I got off work. I went home. I opened up the ESPN app, but this wasn't the first thing I saw. I was like, oh, yeah, it's Thursday. I forgot there was Thursday Night Football on. The Bengals almost lost. Had to kick a last-second field goal to beat the Jaguars. The Jaguars were up 14-0 at halftime. I researched that, hashtag research. We all picked the Bengals. So, I mean, it seemed like it was a sloppy-ish win. Did you guys catch the game?
Yeah, and Trevor Lawrence is the real deal. I don't know if this is a hot take or something. Me and Joseph and Andrew have kind of talked about it. I don't know if I've told you yet, Ace, but Trevor Lawrence and Joe Burrow. Give me Trevor Lawrence. I mean, I know he's had some struggles here. It's starting off the season. He's also been asked to throw the ball about 50 times in his first 2 starts. So this was a game that he was able to keep under control, and he looked good. I mean, they allowed him to use his legs, ran some RPO stuff, left defensive ends looking absolutely silly, showed some toughness. I mean, he's 6'5", and he's got really good mobility for that size. Joe Burrow is going to be very good. I mean, he had that dime to Jamar Chase out when he was scrambling outside the pocket, rolling left, feather touched it over the linebackers and between the secondary. That was absolutely great. Joe Burrow is going to be good. I question that Bengals organization in general, and golly, I question the Jags too. But I think Trevor Lawrence is a generational talent, man. Like, there's only a few guys that come out that are this rock solid. Like, the last one I could think of is Luck. I mean, just guys that you knew were going to be the number 1 pick, had everything going to be the number 1 pick. And you're almost dumb if you didn't do it. So personally, I would take, if I had to go on the Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow side, I'm taking Trevor Lawrence. I know that wasn't what you asked, but that's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, you're good.
Excuse me. They had the Jaguars had a chance to be up 21-0 before halftime. The Bengals were able to get a goal line stand. Whether I was right or wrong, I thought they had James Robinson on the option pitch to get to the pylon. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but Trevor decided to keep it and got stuffed at the one. It's close. But that's growing pains, stuff you'll learn from. One thing that I don't know if they'll learn from, though, is Urban Meyer is already making headlines elsewhere outside of the football field. I don't know if you guys saw last night.
He was at a bar or something, right?
He was at an Ohio bar, and people got him like on Snapchat video and like in our Instagram story. A couple college girls. He was like dancing with like a college student, like Urban. It's okay. We're a few weeks away before he takes an NFL medical leave to stay with his family and prioritize his mental health, and so that's okay, Urban.
There's
the second time in his career.
Spicy from Andrew. Yeah,
I mean, dude, it's the pictures are
they're bad. Yeah, I mean, they're not like. I mean, he's not like groping anyone or anything, but like you're an
NFL football coach in an Ohio college bar. Like
you see, he's rocking the Ohio State pullover. Like he's like, oh, maybe if we're the Ohio State one, no one would think, oh, it's just Urban Meyer, the losing coach from Ohio State, but that's Urban Meyer, the winning coach from Ohio State. Yeah.
Do I play this on live right now?
I don't know.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, if we're not,
if you have the video, I only saw screenshots. I didn't see the whole video.
Yeah. I mean, it was just a hoot nanny.
Oh, he's right there.
Oh boy. Yep. It's that's
We'll just stop it there.
That's what you call hashtag bad imaging. That's a little note from PR Monday morning, right when he walks into the facility.
I mean,
Mr. Urban, can you step this way for me, please? We got some questions.
Oh boy. Well, the Jaguars thought they were getting something sweet with Meyer joining them, but oh man, no, he's looking like maybe a mistake. But
they went all in on Urban Meyer's philosophy. Like I don't think people know this. Like Evan Silva was talking about it the other day. They got rid of all their trainers, brought in his training staff, are adopting his entire philosophy, are putting together a brand new facility for their practice and training facilities, all circled around Urban Meyer leading this team and being the guy. And oh my God, even in the press conferences, like he sounds like if you just took Trevor Lawrence's words and Urban Meyer's words and you swapped them, you would think that Urban Meyer's the rookie quarterback and Trevor Lawrence is the coach. Like Trevor Lawrence is going up there stoic with his number one draft pick hair, just absolutely golden locks. Don't know when Head and Shoulders is going to get a partnership with that guy yet. But if they haven't reached out, that's a missed opportunity. My book, okay? And the jizzled jawline and goes up to the podium and just answers it like a 13-year pro. And you got Urban Meyer, who's like, yeah, I've never lost this much, and sounds like he's absolutely just distraught.
I'm really, so like I did say Justin Herbert should be the best quarterback out of this little group we're seeing here in these last couple of years. I mean, I do want Trevor Lawrence to be great because I think he can be. I just don't know how much faith I have in Jacksonville and how they're going to handle it. And if Urban Meyer is coach for 2 years and that's a wash, and then you bring in another coach and you have to change your entire freaking process again, man, that doesn't sound great. But we'll talk about that. We'll be on for the next 5 years covering it. Okay, so we're gonna make our predictions. Oh, we already made them, but we'll show you them unless we change them. So,
first game,
boom shakalaka.
It's the Viking drum, dude.
Yeah. So this is Cleveland is favored by like 1 or 2 points. I can't remember.
I think they're one. It came in
by 1.
Yeah, by
right
1
now?
as of last night.
This morning it was 1.
Which I mean is essentially a coin flip. Do you guys why are you guys picking Cleveland? They've played some close games so far this season. Haven't very run heavy. Baker's just has to not mess up and throw the game away. Is the Cleveland Browns the safer choice? Is that why you guys picked him?
I think partially. And to your point about Baker not throwing the game away, he's kind of done that this season. He's been over 75% completion percentage in every game this season. He hasn't been asked to throw the ball more than 30 times. The Vikings have started off like this season a lot better than I expected, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But Mike Zimmer is a defensive-minded coach, and he has traditionally had pretty solid defenses. The additions of Danielle Hunter, like we've mentioned in previous shows, to get him back from missing last season, and also Everson Griffin has helped a lot. But I just think the Cleveland ground game is going to be a little too much for them to handle, and with Dalvin Cook coming in questionable, I'm not sure, how effective they will be in the ground game. I know they're also. I'm not sure is Christian Darrisaw still missing some time because he's coming back from injury.
Yeah, I don't believe he's back yet.
So I don't think he's back yet. So, I mean, he hasn't really shown how good he can be just yet in Minnesota. But I'll take Cleveland here. But, the 1 point doesn't reassure me a whole lot. But I think in this spot that they can just play their game and, dictate the pace and flow of how this game goes. So I'll take Cleveland.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think Kevin Stefanski is actually #a sharp coach. And I think that, he's going to have a game plan.
This is also a return game. Yeah, this is a return. Stefanski back to Minnesota. Sorry to cut you out there, but I just
no problem at all. Yeah. I think Stefanski's going to come in, and Baker Mayfield is super efficient, man. When you look at his passing stats, he's actually like second in the league in yards per attempt. He just doesn't throw the ball very much. He's like second in the league in yards per attempt and like 27th in attempts per game at like 26. So I think that's if you're the Cleveland Browns, that's how you win football games. It's 26 throws from Baker Mayfield, a few explosive plays from guys like OBJ, maybe a big run from Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt, and then really be ferocious on the defensive end. I don't think the Minnesota Vikings offensive line is very good. As you mentioned, Darrisaw is not playing. That'll allow for, I think Myles Garrett is probably the best 3 tech in the league. One of the best defensive players in the league, obviously, and Jadeveon Clowney to get after Kirk a little bit. Kirk under duress hasn't been great. But Kirk lately has been unbefreaking-leavable. So, if that trend continues, Asa is looking at another dub and taking another game up on us in these predictions here. But I would just say I would go with Cleveland here. Just feel a little more comfortable with their overall team as opposed to Minnesota. If Dalvin plays, I might be a little more swayed. But I don't think Madison is a huge downgrade. Kind of like the CMC thing I talk about. Mike Davis, Chuba Hubbard, they're all like 90% CMC. So kind of similar here with Madison.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll keep it quick. Kirk Cousins has been on fire. Dalvin Cook last week missed it, but the Minnesota is looking to pound the rock a little bit. Madison did that for them last week. Cook or Madison can do that for them this week. The Vikings secondary is probably like their one like true like best playing squad on their team so far. They've had some picks. They've gotten a ton of sacks so far. So I like that a lot. Cleveland Browns live on the big play. Yes, they're going to pound the rock. They're going to run it a lot. They average like a league high like 10 yards per air yards or per play when they're throwing the ball. So like they are looking to get it out there. They are missing Jarvis Landry. OBJ's second game back. I expect him to have a decent game, get some targets there. I just think this is going to be a high-scoring game, and I expect it to be a pretty fun one to watch. And my gut's going Minnesota. It would make these teams 2-2. So I mean, it's a pretty early in the season. The Browns are going to be very relevant, and I'm also just going to be a Viking stan till I die. So
your Viking pick came through for you last week, knocked me out of the survivor pool, and kept you afloat. So yeah, thanks.
Can I just touch on this game for a quick second from a DFS perspective?
Yeah, that's great.
Cool. So personally, I don't love the quarterbacks here, just because I'm not a huge fan of quarterbacks that have a capped ceiling, and I think when you have Kirk and Baker that don't run. It does definitely cap their ceiling. You need the 300-yard bonus and probably 3 touchdowns to get there. If they were anywhere in like the 5,700 range, then, I'd be a lot more adapt to playing them. But Kirk's sitting at 64. Baker's sitting at 62. So a little bit questionable there. Dalvin Cook is going to be an absolute steal in tournaments if he plays. When he plays, he's going to get all the snaps. Like I don't anticipate him playing and Zimmer not feeding him. But I think the game stack, the mini stack that I like a lot here is actually OBJ run back with Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson's only projected for like 6% ownership. We know that he has the ability to go over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns all the time. This Viking secondary, as Asa mentioned in the news segment, is missing Greg Newsome. I think that's somewhere that they can exploit. So I like that a lot. And then OBJ ran a ton of routes last week. I think there was only 2 Baker dropbacks. He didn't run a route, had 155 air yards, 5 catches for 77 yards, didn't get in the end zone. Saw his price only increased by $500. His ownership is reasonable. It's double digits, but it's like at 12 right now. I imagine it gets a little bit inflated, probably to 15, just because people like to play Odell Beckham because his name is Odell Beckham. So, look out for that. But I think still, if you can get both of these guys at a total ownership of about sub 20%. I mean, I think that's a really smart play to get to in tournaments, especially small field stuff. It's something that I'm going to have a lot of exposure to. This is the number 1 GPP game in for Establish the Run. So yeah, and it makes a lot of sense to me. That's why I want to target it pretty heavily. So just wanted to touch on that real quick.
Oh yeah, Justin Jefferson is like begging to break out, and this could be a great game for that to happen. So the Vikings win because of that. Thank you. Just kidding. Okay, we will talk about our next game here. The Cardinals at the Rams. So Ryan already told us he's taking the points here, thinking that the Rams should cover. Los Angeles and Arizona have looked pretty good. I mean, and both of them have been inspired on offense. I would say the Cardinals have had sloppier wins, getting down double digits a couple of times here. The Rams have only trailed 2 minutes this whole season, which is just wild. So, I mean, I like the home team. I thought, we have to flip a coin, one potential 4-0 team here, 1 3-1 team. We're looking at 2 good teams in the NFC West. Matt Stafford's been looking good. If I had to say though, Robert Woods, I think is going to have a good game good game today. I think that's a little bold because he's probably Mr. Consistent Cooper Kupp. Freaking 18 touchdowns in 18 games is wild. I don't know. I just think Robert Woods, who's been more versatile and is not necessarily Matt Stafford's favorite guy here. I don't know. I think defenses start to pick up on that. I think they start to apply a little bit more pressure to Cooper Kupp, and I think Robert Woods has the talent to still make plays. So, and he's home.
I honestly, and Andrew, I'll go first just because the DFS stuff gets me jacked up. That's a real sharp play, dude. DFS perspective, again, this is another one of those games with a high total for obvious reasons. Both of these teams have a really high throw rate above expectation, which is what you really like to see. Kyler Murray is interesting this week because he's expensive and his stack options are expensive. DeAndre Hopkins is right in that range of Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill, and even a little more, and he's more expensive than guys like Terry McLaurin, Justin Jefferson, DK Metcalf, guys that I really like. So you're going to get contrarian right there with the Kyler Murray stack. I'm going to run at least one of those out, but absolutely. Cooper Kupp is seeing a 37% target share. It was like 41 coming into last week. We were seeing like Devontae Adams type crap. And I mean, he had 11 last week too. So it's not like it's any dink on him. He's still he still has a 37% target share, but I just think this has to balance out a little bit. Evan Silva kind of talked about it on Establish the Run. I hope I'm not giving away too much Establish the Run's content. I just really like their stuff. He was talking about it yesterday. You kind of get that little chirping narrative in there, right? Robert Woods is a guy that the Rams signed to a big contract, planned on him being a big part of their offense. I can't imagine that they don't try to incorporate him given how little production he's had this season. And against this Arizona Cardinals secondary, this is a great spot. 5,300 on DK. He's only in that mid 5K tier at 5,300. So yeah, I think it's really smart. It's a good way to get off of OBJ, right? OBJ's 5,800. This is a direct pivot to a guy who's getting half the ownership, has just as high of a ceiling in another game environment that we want to target, just like that Minnesota-Cleveland game. As for the game itself, though, yeah, I think the Rams are just a better football team. We've seen the Cardinals come up short in these situations last year, and I kind of have to see it to believe it, right? They've won they are 3-0, but we've seen Tennessee kind of looks very questionable. You poke a lot of holes in them. Really struggled against the Jaguars. So we'll see how this goes. But I think the Rams are locked and loaded. McVay is having so much fun with his new toy, Matt Stafford. I mean, and now Darrell Henderson having that injury designation. They still run the ball a ton. Sony Michel had 23 freaking carries last week, but it just sets up their play action pass so well for them. So I'm gonna take the Rams here. That was a long-winded answer. Very much apologize.
Good morning, Amanda. Yeah, we barely sleep anyway, so join the Sleepy Z crew. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I'll be quick on my take. Rams across the board here. Home game for them. I think they take this one. I'm not a big fan of the Cardinals just yet. Should have lost in week 2, in my opinion, on yet another Minnesota Viking missed field goal that has Marshall Erickson's father rolling in his grave. Definitely, yeah, 1999 NFC Championship game, Johnny. Yeah, I'll take McVay and the Rams. We'll have to see how this Cardinals team progresses through the season, because again, they got up to a fast start last year. Same thing is in the works here. I said it earlier in the season. Cliff Kingsbury, in my opinion, should be on the hot seat because just because of his performances, and he's the one who picked Kyler Murray and zoned out that whole. Whatever. I'm not going to get into all that, but Rams here, home team. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals win later on in the season when they go to Arizona. But for right now, I don't think they have enough to beat the Rams.
Okay, I like it. All right, so we'll hit our next prediction up here. Okay, so the Baltimore.
We got to make up some ground. So,
dude, no, I didn't know you were picking the Broncos.
Oh boy,
Baltimore Ravens at Mile High at the Denver Broncos. Yeah, I'm picking the Broncos. I had the Broncos picking 4 days ago. I was ready to ride this horse to a Sunday dub. So I will talk about the Broncos first. Okay. They haven't beaten a great team yet. That's fine.
0-9. 3 teams they played. 0-9.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's wild.
Okay, so they have. I just like the consistency of what I'm going to get out of the Denver Broncos here. The Baltimore Ravens have looked great and terrible. So coin flip that, and you can pick what you're going to get today. They're one of the worst teams this year against the pass. And Teddy Bridgewater in I think week 2 had like 300 plus yards. So I could see Teddy Bridgewater exploiting that a little bit. Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon III don't need to do a lot here. I mean the Baltimore Ravens pass or rush defense is good. So I mean that's probably their best thing that they got going for them. But I expect the Broncos defense to keep Lamar in check. Lamar was questionable. I expect Bridgewater to have over 300 yards passing, and then that's the recipe to success, right? You limit what Lamar can do. I would expect that they're going to attempt to keep him under 60 yards rushing today. I think that's the Baltimore Ravens, obvious. Even though they're not running the ball, they're not changing their game plan. They're with Lamar, they're still running it a lot with Lamar. And then if this game is close, I'll take the battle of the kickers. Brandon McManus at home is just as good as Justin Tucker. And we talked about this. We talked about this last week. Is Justin Tucker going to hit a 67-yard bomb today? I don't know. I'm rooting for it, but I'm still going Broncos.
Amanda, that's what we're hoping for, Heike. We're chasing this guy right now, so we're hoping for it now.
That comment right there is why this show is called the Sunday Morning Roast. Okay, just in a nutshell, getting roasted over here.
Yeah, I totally everything you said makes sense. I've been high on Denver. I think we've all been pretty high on Denver coming into the season. We thought they were going to be a pretty good football team. There's no reason, really, honestly, why I should be picking Baltimore. They are banged up in the secondary. They're banged up on the offensive line. Ronnie Stanley's not playing. I mean, obviously, we know their woes in the backfield. Rashad Bateman was expected to come back. He's not playing still. Their first-round draft pick. So, literally the only thing I could tell you is I trust Lamar Jackson. I don't know if Hollywood Brown's been in my ear a little bit too much. Maybe he should be on the chug machine catching footballs. 3 touchdowns you dropped last week. Jiminy. Anyway, want to talk about it? Yeah, I just trust Lamar Jackson in this spot.
We're gonna need a spelling for Jiminy one of these days, so we can put it on the banners, because that's another one of Johnny's fave words in his vocabulary.
Like cricket, like Jiminy Cricket.
Okay, I'll look it up.
So yeah, I believe in Lamar. I guess that's what I'll say.
Amanda, you're speaking almost as if you're a Ravens fan.
My bad.
When we all have the controls, it's so funny, and everyone tries to put comments on the screen. Maybe 10 years ago, Broncos would have, not tonight. I think I probably picked the Ravens 10 years ago too. Actually, they coming out of a Super Bowl win 10 years ago.
Is Amanda hashtag
she part of the Ravens flock?
Sneaky sharp? No, she's hashtag sneaky sharp.
Maybe.
If they win, right?
I don't know if this is widely known. I don't want to back up my McManus little stance there. But he's one of the only kickers in the league. There's like maybe 4 or 5 that has hit multiple 56-yard field goals in a game. So I mean, he's not obviously the best. I think
he's got a huge leg, man.
But yeah, he can kick it. He can get pretty deep there. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a good game though. I think this isn't going to be like a crazy high scoring game either. But yeah, this ought to be interesting.
I don't know what to expect from him, but I'm just going to take Lamar, and I think he's the best player on the field, and I think he'll dictate that result and end up winning the game. And I need to make up some ground on you, so I saw the Broncos, and it made me even more solidify that decision.
I mean, I agree with you guys, and I get you where you're coming from, and I don't mean to speak over you. I'm sorry, but I've seen Patrick Mahomes, look weird, not look himself. I've seen Josh Allen not look himself. I get sticking with your QB, but there's 11 guys lined up on the other side that have something to say about that, and the Denver Broncos have the best defense in the league. Maybe not, they've played really crappy opponents, but I mean, hey, if you're looking at it, they warmed up really nicely to.
You can only play who's in front of you, so yeah, you got to give them that. You got to tip your cap. They've done their job, so it should be a good game. Should be a fun one.
Yeah. I'm expect either way, even if I lose this game, I'm sure it'll be a good game. But Amanda thinks the Broncos are trash. So I mean, that's this is coming from a place in your soul. Okay, and I dig that. Okay, so let's go to the next game here. Ooh, we talked about this a little bit. So yeah. We all have the Bucks. That's boring pick. Whatever. they're gonna win. Jay, how about you take like a minute here?
Yeah.
Is there any DFS plays?
Hell no. I mean, if you want to throw like a little dart at like an OJ, God no. I couldn't even get it out. You see, I wanted to say OJ. I can't do it. He's trying. Every time I play OJ, oh God, OJ Howard. Every time I play OJ Howard, he underproduces. I try to get him in every spot. Bruce Arians is freaking cutthroat, dude. There's a few guys he just doesn't have tolerance for. I don't even know why they're on the team sometimes. Ronald Jones, if Ronald Jones misses a blocking assignment, he's out the whole game. You don't even have to worry about it. You play Ronald Jones in DFS first quarter, misses a blocking assignment, boom, gone. You're never going to see him again. OJ Howard, too. I remember last year he dropped one pass, like in some random week 4 that I played him. Hit the schneid, no shot, didn't come back. Might as well left his helmet on the sideline. No, this is, I guess no, I can't even talk myself into it. The total is low. Both these defenses are decent. I mean, Tom can go in and absolutely go ballistic, but he has his full repertoire besides Gronk. They're all like appropriately priced. I don't see anything that beats the edge here. And then considering you have, 3-4 other games that look really nice in terms of ownership and totals.
Got it.
Yeah, I mean,
sorry, Bob. Go ahead.
My bad. No. I was just gonna say, the Bucks is an easy choice for me. They're gonna stop the game. Brady's about 100 or so yards away from breaking the Drew Brees' all-time passing yard record. So they're gonna stop the game when that happens. There's gonna be a lot of like theatrics apparently at the game, and thank yous. And Tom's put out already 2 videos. He put out a new one this morning, so he's hyped for the game. So Bucks.
Did he really?
He put out a new one. Yeah. He put out a new one.
I gotta watch that. Dude, I'm not even like a Tom Brady guy, but like, good Lord, he's just so good. I can't help it. Like the one he put out yesterday of him like just walking across the field and all the Super Bowl wins, and he even had the losses in there. Like, holy Toledo. Amanda, look, I don't know if you heard this take yet, but we care about you. So Tom is going to tell us when he retires. Honestly, I have no clue. Like this dude.
I'm with Amanda. I'm with Amanda.
No. Stop. Ace, we love you. We care about you. Don't do this. Don't do it. He's going to tell us.
Could Tom Brady be like, what if he's 47 years old and he's on the field and then he tears his ACL, or he gets blindsided and his shoulder blade cracks into a million pieces? I don't even know if that's possible.
2 years. That's 2 years away, and he'd still come back. He'd still find a way. He's unbelievable. I just, again, like, let him do it, bro, because I have no clue. Like LeBron too. Like LeBron is. I'm never gonna be like, oh, LeBron is washed. Like, I mean, no. Like, it's just, there's no point. Just save yourself. Like, be right on other takes. There's no need to be right on that take.
Okay. All right.
I say it because I care about you, buddy.
So this is the Sunday night game. So I mean, whatever. I'm not gonna watch it because I'm working. But I'm sure it'll be very theatrical, like Andrew said. And then for Monday night, the Las Vegas Raiders are playing at the Los Angeles Chargers. Derek Carr just said not too long ago, apparently, and he was being interviewed or whatever, that he considers games at the Chargers home games. I mean, he's not necessarily wrong, but I mean, he said even in SoFi Stadium, we're considering this a home game. I mean, the Vegas Raiders might have moved to Vegas, but all their fans are still here in California. However, we have them losing to the Chargers. So I think we all probably agree that we like what Justin Herbert brings to the table. Derek Carr has passed probably 100 more times than anybody else. And I don't know what the stats are, but yeah, I mean, the Raiders are trying to get this dub based off of as much, run opportunity you can get out there. They're just trying to get as much on their offense, like just going balls to the wall. They've had a couple good wins, but like I said, we've seen weird things from Lamar and Patrick when they, no, they didn't play. I don't know. It's hard to believe in the Las Vegas Raiders, and you have to think that they come back to normalcy in some point. So
they've won 2 overtime games, had to overcome 10-point deficits in 2 of them. Is that something we're gonna keep banking on from the?
Keep talking. I'm just throwing some comments.
No, yeah. Dad. Let's go Raiders and about that. Yeah. So Derek Carr has been playing unbelievably. I think that this Chargers team is again another underrated team. The AFC West looks like it's going to be the second best division in football, and if it wasn't for the NFC West just being absolutely ridiculous, then it'd be the first one. So yeah, I think that the Chargers win this game. I think that I trust Justin Herbert more than I trust Derek Carr. I trust what's around Justin Herbert more than I trust what's around Derek Carr. We'll see if Joey Bosa absolutely eats on that offensive line, because I mean, to be quite honest, they haven't really been tested all that much. Like, they played Miami. Their front seven is lackluster, to say the least. They also played the Steelers without TJ Watt for a whole 2.5 quarters, almost 3 quarters. So, and then week 1, they played Baltimore, who was absolutely depleted. They literally had nobody. Justin Houston, I think, played the most snaps on their defensive end position. So, yeah, I'm saying good Chargers here.
Yeah, I think they run into. I think what's really been the story, I think, for the Raiders has been how good defensively they've been and getting a pass rush. And I think this is where it kind of comes to a stop. Rashawn Slater has been nothing short of spectacular since sliding into that role, and the addition of Corey Linsley and Matt Filer have been really good. So Herbert's had a lot of time. I think like you mentioned, the matchups that the Raiders have had are skewed their pressure stats and their ability to get to the quarterback, because they played the Ravens without Alejandro Villanueva and without blanking on his name. Ronnie Stanley. The Dolphins have a bad offensive line, and the Steelers have one of the worst offensive lines in football. So I think they run into a pretty good one. They don't really Herbert, and I think the Chargers win this one pretty easily. But we'll see. Crazier things have happened, as we've seen. Didn't expect Baltimore to lose in week 1 of the Raiders, so I wouldn't be shocked if they it's 2021. You expect the unexpected in the NFL now.
Love it. And
all right,
those are our primetime picks. We will give you our survivor pick now, and I don't even know what these guys pick, so let's find out. Mm-hmm. Ooh, Sparser. Mm-hmm. Okay, Andrew, the Dallas Cowboys are hosting the Carolina Panthers. They're like what, 4 point?
Blair's killing me again today.
4.5 point favorites. I think if I remember the line about right. So Dallas isn't hugely favored in this game, but they have had some good performances. Is that why you're picking them here, or is this you think Carolina's flying too close to the sun?
I just really like Dak, to be quite honest with you. And yes, Amanda, the Cowboys, as my survivor pick, they are going to beat the Panthers today. And I also feel like I need to pick a close game because I did lose last week in the survivor pick. So now I'm back for week 4. I got resurrected after only 1 week, after only lasting 1 week.
We've all lost. Look at the
box. Okay, but here the difference is that like you guys lost and then didn't make survivor picks for week 2. Or Ace didn't make survivor picks for week 2, and then yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna take the Cowboys here. It's gonna be, people expect a pretty close game. Tony Pollard's not better than Ezekiel Elliott. He's not better than Ezekiel Elliott. Give Ezekiel Elliott the football. Averaging 5.6 yards a carry. I'm not just speaking for the sake of my fantasy. I'm speaking for the sake of guys like Tim the Tap Man and people who are Cowboys fans, tried and true. Give Ezekiel Elliott the football.
He's averaging like 18 touches a game.
More.
You're like Kyle.
More!
Yeah, exactly.
More!
Oh, I think that's a sharp play, man. A lot of the money's on Carolina to cover this 4. I think that there's a chance that the Cowboys win by at least a touchdown.
Pull my laptop off my desk.
You do think, buddy. I have the Titans. It looks like I might just make a living on picking whoever's playing the Jets or the Texans or something. So I'm going to go with the Titans here. They're 7-point favorites at home. Big dog's going to eat. So.
The New Orleans Saints have not played a home game at the Superdome this year. They've been in hotel rooms. They've been on the road. This is their first home game. They're 7-point favorites. The Giants are visiting. The Giants have looked like absolute crap. Injuries galore. The Saints have what it takes defensively to get this to make this happen. And I'll just say it. Alvin Kamara, 175 yards, scrimmage yards today, and I think that's an underrated play too, baby.
You're darn right it is. You're darn right it is, Ace.
He's gonna have like 90 and 80 and 90.
Yes.
And I think that's like a pretty good floor, and I could see him even surprise us even more. 6 touchdown game Christmas last year. I mean he's got the damn potential to do whatever the hell he wants. So.
Bro, Alvin Kamara, the last 2 seasons, has only gotten between 130 to 180 rushes because they threw him the ball so much and Latavius Murray took so much work. He's on pace to have 300 total rushing attempts this year so far. 300. That's like Derrick Henry, like a little bit higher than what Christian McCaffrey was seeing type of usage in the run game. I want to see them lower that down, maybe do like a 210 and throw him the ball a little more, especially in full-point PPR. But, Andrew, yeah. Amanda vanquished you.
I'm getting roasted in the comments, man. I had to disappear for a second.
She's got receipts, bro. She's just saying, okay? Respect Amanda.
I respect. I'm still a man of my word. If they win the Super Bowl, I'll wear a jersey on stream, but she has to buy it.
Yeah. I would say we're all pretty safe here, but I said that week 1 and that was not good for me. I said that week 2 and that was not good either. Last week, Jay tried to get Andrew to not dive into the pool, but Andrew still did it. So
Andrew said, "Screw it, to the shallow end we go."
Water felt fine, baby. What are you talking about?
Okay, so we're gonna give you guys some DFS talk here. This is the part of the program where we just listen to Jay. So go ahead, buddy.
Love it. Okay. All right. So we just got the Trey Sermon news, right? Elijah Mitchell's not playing. Trey Sermon's at 5K. That throws a little wrench in our game. Chuba Hubbard was someone that I considered pretty lock-worthy in cash at 5,900 and playing that 90% CMC level. But now with Trey Sermon in there, it really throws a dart. Another big question that people are gonna ask is Justin Fields. Are you gonna go back there? A lot of people played him in cash last week, got burned. His price did not increase. His matchup did. Again, like I talked about earlier, I don't think this is a spot that he fails as bad again. I think we've already seen his floor. And I don't think we see it 2 weeks in a row. I will say that freaking dad, dude. I keep calling this guy Nike, but his real name is like Nick Westbrook or something like that from Tennessee. He's 3,200. No AJ Brown, no Julio Jones. In cash, he's very much pretty like a free spot. Like he's projected to be like 29% owned. The Sermon news kind of throws a wrench into that because I was pretty sure I was playing him. And honestly, in cash, I was going to do something I'm not really comfortable with. Not that I'm not comfortable with, but I need to start being more comfortable with is not playing 3 running backs. I think there's a legit chance that you play that guy, and I keep calling him Nike, but Nike from Tennessee, and that at 3,200, it's going to take a lot for him to bust for you. And then you can play Cup, you can play Moore, you can play Adams, and you can play like Cup, Moore, Adams, and you can get Henry. So a lot of room to really have some wiggle worth here. If you don't like Fields, go up and play Dak at 67's in a nice spot. Jalen Hurts at 69's in a nice spot. Josh Allen for 8K is in an absolute smash eruption spot. Again, this is where, I could see Josh Allen again going for another 40 burger. He had 5 touchdowns last week against Washington. The narrative that, oh my God, they're going to blow them out and Josh Allen's going to get pulled off the field in the third quarter is ludicrous. The NFL only has 53 players. You better be winning by about 40 before you yank a guy off the field. And if they're winning by 40, Josh Allen's touchdown percentage for Buffalo is ridiculous. He's their best red zone runner, and he gets all the passing work. Duh. I think Dawson Knox is a really sneaky tournament play to pivot off some of the inflated ownership that guys like Sanders and Beasley are going to get, considering their past week's performances. But yeah, I think that Josh Allen, again, is another smart play. Tournaments, I think I mentioned already, but my favorite little trio is going to be my duo, actually, is going to be a Jonathan Taylor again. I like him, and you can play him with the Colts defense against that awful Miami defense. I think that's offensive line. I'm sorry. That's a way to go that I like. I'm playing that a lot. And then the Justin Jefferson and Jonathan Taylor mini. I said Justin Jefferson, and I said Jonathan Taylor again. I'm sorry. Odell Beckham mini stack is where I'm really hanging out quite a bit of my money. So if Odell Beckham scores, guys, thinking of me, okay?
Got it.
I will not do that, Johnny. But yeah, hopefully he scores.
Okay. Thanks for the content, Jay. You kind of already gave us some DFS plays as we were talking, so some pretty solid there. Real quick, all right. Vin Scully, our Lord and Savior, please give the Dodgers the will to win today. So that they can win in the 163rd game against the San Francisco Giants. Allow the Padres to have a backbone for once and, come in and win a game that they should win. They should have won plenty more. They fell apart. San Diego is a terrible place to play. Don't wish that upon Fernando Tatis Jr. And Manny Machado's is all ears about it, but please give the Dodgers a chance. If they don't win the pennant again, and our little mini dynasty here, let Adam Wainwright show his age in the first game of the wild card, and Max Scherzer and Trey Turner, give them all the fuel they need. If Bellinger's spirit has to be sacrificed for this Dodgers a team to win back-to-back World Series championships, then I'm okay with it. In Vin Scully's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Vin Scully.
I think that's a perfect play. Yeah, that's a perfect way to end this. Attaboy.
And, oh, no, it's not. I don't know if you read the DMs I slid you. Okay, we're going to leave right now. But say something bolder than your coffee.
Well, that's pretty hard to beat. I usually make a nice cup of Joe, makes it nice and bold, good and tasty. But anyway, I'll say this just because I was thinking something else, but because Amanda's got me, got Raiders on the mind here. Chargers by 20.
Woo!
Chargers by 20 Monday night.
All right,
Chargers
Jay.
by 20.
Jay, you ready?
Jesus. Hold on. Don't give me a second. You got yours? You go.
DeAndre Swift. He's the Lions running back. He has only had like 5 career touchdowns. The Lions are going to win their first game of the season. DeAndre Swift is going to have 3 touchdowns. Make it 4. DeAndre Swift season. Let's go.
Holy snot, man. You guys are killing me. I'm going to go
Is that a grand slam of touchdowns for DeAndre Swift? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm leaving.
Let's go. 2-2, baby.
I'm gonna go Lamar Jackson. I'm gonna go Lamar Jackson. The Baltimore Ravens win by at least double digits. Lamar throws for like 3 touchdowns and has 1 rushing and 100. I'm gonna go 250 passing and 100 rushing. 250 passing, 100 rushing, 3 touchdowns.
All right. And you know what? Dodgers win by 1,000,000. Let's go. Let's go, baby. All right. LA, we love you. AJ Sports family, we love you. Have a great Sunday. Thanks for joining us in on the Sunday Morning Roast. We love to have you guys.
Thanks so much, guys.
As always, it was a blast. We'll see you guys next time on the AJ Sports Show. And we're out. Bye.
I felt attacked for my Cowboys pick, Amanda. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but
Understand your lane.
I like